For over 50 years, this little-known bike brand has been redefining what custom bikes can actually be. From unique travel builds to tubing and techniques you won't find anywhere else. They're not afraid to get weird, and that's exactly what makes them so special. From traditional dream builds to things that are completely unconventional, this small Seattle-based shop proves that there is no limit to what a custom bike can be.
Welcome to Rodriguez Bikes. I'm Alder Threlkeld. I'm one of the owners at Rodriguez Bikes. R&E Cycles is two builders, Angel Rodriguez and Glenn Erickson, our founders, that combine to make R&E Cycles. They're long since out of the cycling world, but we still carry their name to this day. We've been building under the same roof, same place since 1973. Rodriguez really plays a deep role in the cycling community in Seattle. The other day I had a customer come in and she had bought the bike in 1975. And this is that bike from 1975 that lady brought in. And it's crazy that you can buy a bike 45 years ago and then still take it into the same dealership essentially and get the bike worked on. I mean, that's crazy. What sets Rodriguez apart from other custom builders is that we will literally do whatever you want. I mean, we want to make dream bikes a thing. If you want a crazy long top tube just because you want the look, you want to run a short stem, we'll do that. You know, you want extra long chain stays, kind of want that Rivendell vibe, but Rivendell doesn't really fit you, we'll make it happen. If you want a disc brake up front, candies in the back, don't know why, but we'll do it. You know, who are we to say that that's wrong? This is one of those frames where we will make your dreams become reality. We have a oversized down tube for stiffness and just a mixedy step-through design, S-bent stays. We made one of these previously for the same customer and he had some design tweaks, so he came back and made a version 2. So the philosophy behind each bike built at Rodriguez Bikes is a bike made for you, by you. So you come in, we like to measure your body parts. If you're out in the world, we'll tell you how to measure your body parts. That way we can get the fit exactly for you and you fit your bike perfectly. Learning what you want, goals and aspirations and what's feasibly possible. Designing the paint scheme, which is often the hardest part. I usually tell people to start thinking about that first. Picking out parts. If you are local, we'll have you come in and we'll do a final fit with you. Our usual turnaround time is 4 to 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks in the summer. It's very customer facing. Like, we want to talk to you on the phone. We want to see you in person. There's no drop-down menu on the website. If you don't know anything, we'll assist you. If you know everything and you just want us to build the bike, we'll assist you. But that way, it's exactly how you want it to be. To make the process more streamlined, think about what exactly your goals are. Do I want a fast bike? Do I want a bike that can carry a bunch of stuff? You know, which one comes first? Because you can't have everything, unfortunately, but we can try to get you as close as possible. What are you okay with not having? You know, but if you have like a top 3 and we can get those top 3, then that's good. It's like great examples of bad examples. Like, these are a seat post that we melted out of a frame.
And the frame won't melt.
The melting point of aluminum versus brass and steel is like huge, so it ruins your paint. But I mean, it is actually, if time is money, it is one of the cheapest options because it takes like 20 minutes to burn a frame. I think the hardest part about having a small business is having a small business. That's the hardest part. I mean, in Seattle, minimum wage is crazy. So now we're in the frame shop. This is just over the years, all the frame builders and other people that worked here have just everyday run-of-the-mill bolt, specialer bolt, fake bolt, non-invisible bolt. I mean, it's like every bike we make can be a travel bike. We are the largest producer of S&S bikes in the world. If it's a custom bike, why would you want to rent a bike out in, France? Why not take the bike that fits you, that you love to ride, that is an extension of your own body with you everywhere you go?
So is pretty much every larger size Rodriguez travel bike 650B?
Yes, we try to avoid 700C because 700C wheels don't fit in a case very well. Even if you have a 700C road wheel with the tire on, you kind of have to let the air out of the tire. It's a tight fit. People always complain about trends and standards changing, but because we build every bike one of one from start to finish, it's really easy to keep up with. If you want a skinny tire caliper or a road bike, we can do that. If you want a big tire gravel bike, we can also do that. We make each one individually for you. And instead of cutting a hole, we'll sand down the square edge of a tube to make the perfect kerf, which makes an airtight miter. This allows for a really clean weld up and little frame twist when welding up the frame. So the frame is much straighter than it would normally be. It also allows us to use a much thinner tube, as hole saws tend to tear thinner, harder tubes.
Does anyone else do that?
No, no one else does this. This is completely unique to Rodriguez. The most memorable bike we've done at the shop, I mean, we've done some crazy tandems. You know, we had this one tandem where they sold their house, they sold all their stuff, and they decided, oh, we are going to live on this tandem touring around. They were going to carry an immense amount of weight on this. They were going to carry a 30-pound dog up front on a basket. So we had to beef up a ton of stuff up front. They were also going to tow a trailer, also had to be stepped through. And I believe it was also a travel bike, so it had to be taken apart and put in a case as well. I do love the bikes that we make. They're like, people are almost drawing things out of a hat. They're like, I want to do this. And I also want to do this. But what else do I want? And it needs to be a travel bike, you know? It just keeps going. It's like, yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, that's fine. Let's keep going. This is our tandem jig. So we have some wheelchair motors here. That's where the seat tube goes. We got 2 EBB shells here, and this is where the rear triangle goes with the regular bottom bracket shell. So this allows us to make multi-person tandems. We just keep moving the frame down, so you can make a 5-person tandem, and it just kind of sticks out the door over there. 4-inch thick steel plate from a printing press that was somehow moved into this building. I don't really understand. Legend has it, the building was built around this thing. It's been sitting here forever. So this is our 2 of 3, the Enterprise and this, 2 of 3 of the custom Rodriguez only hand-built machines. The other one is over here. I love how repairable steel is. We get bikes in, you know, that people have a lot of sentiment to. You know, a lot of shops turn them away, be like, oh, this bike's broken, it's junk, you gotta throw it away. But if you have sentiment to it, you can't put a monetary value on that. If you want to keep the bike going, we will fix the tube, you know. We put diamonds over it to repair it and reinforce it.
Is this for a belt drive?
Yeah.
Whoa, cool.
We actually have a frame hanging right there that they decided they wanted to go to the other style of shifting for roll-off from, that's too much information. This is our laser alignment table. We heat set and cold set frames here. A laser line will shine along here and then along this wall over here. Most production frames will be on the pink line or a little bit farther, while Rodriguez frames will always be on the black line every time. One other thing I love about steel is how many shapes it comes in. When you really look at tubing sets and different shapes of tubes and what their purpose is, it's really cool when you can pick how thick you want the end of it to be and how thin you want the middle and all the different butts to really hone in how you want the bike to ride for the specific purpose that you want it to do. I think that's really beautiful. This is where all our tubing lives. Something that you can only get here is our ultralight tubing that's custom made for us to our specific butting and Rockwell hardness that mimic True Temper S3.
Why are there shaped tubes?
Shaped tubes are for stiffness. So something like this down tube is pinched up at the top for head tube stiffness this way and pinched the other direction for bottom bracket sway. So this way it makes the frame very stiff vertically and then very stiff laterally. It's adding facets to a tube really stiffens it up.
Can a bike be too stiff?
It's just personal preference, 100%. Yeah, I really like how steel rides too. It has a very lively feeling. It absorbs a lot of the vibrations while also you can design the bike to be quite stiff as well. So it's very forgiving. It's very compliant. Now we have the paint shop. So frames after they're built in QC get hung here and then sandblasted in our sandblasting room. And then they go into the paint shop and they get painted. A bat made its way into the shop and died. And so one of the frame builders strung it up inside the computer.
He did his own taxidermy?
Yeah. In high school, I was also secretly a huge roadie. And my mom and I just really got into endurance road cycling.
We always take Monday off for him so that we can go riding together.
It just really just exploded from there. Please respect the dirt. This is basically like deep storage. So we have a bunch of forks here that are still good that we can't throw away, but so we'll hold on to them and they'll just sit down here for years. But we have all our chainstays, all our back stock of chainstays, top tubes. Every lug that has ever existed is pretty much in here. We have dropouts for days, bottom bracket lugs. We got seat tube lugs. Even some of the Rodriguez vintage ones from back from the 80s. We have aluminum tubes from the time that we did aluminum for 2 seconds. We have ultralight down tubes, top tubes. We have tandem stiffener tubes that are custom made for us. We have this secret chest of vintage DT Swiss spokes, some Alpine 3s that you can't get anymore. Ritchie Logic spokes, look how old this is. I mean, that's crazy. Some True Temper Unicrown fork legs. This is like some rare shit now.
Now, to get an even better understanding of small brands in cycling, you'll have to watch this video where we meet up with Or Not, a small cycling apparel brand making big things happen in a small city. It's San Francisco. Is that small? I mean, physically?
Velocity made these really weird ones, like an ounce of vanity can ruin a ton of